Hello everybody, this is Chow again with Community Cultivators. In this video I'm going to show you how to draw 3D objects and irregular objects as well. So we're going to go off simple first and we'll get a little bit more complex from there. Um, Purpose of this video, we're going to take these objects and I'm going to show you how to integrate it into a landscape that you might be working with. So let's start off with the rectangle first. Now if you look in the bottom right hand corner, you're going to have your length and your width, and you can type that in, um, and you're going to use the push-pull tool. I just hit the letter P. You can also go here and push that button and select the face you're working with, and you can create a 3D rectangle. From there, you can take a cylinder or a circle and make a cylinder using the same function. And if you want to create an irregular object, we can make a circle. And from that, we can draw out lines. Now, something about Sketchup is you need to make sure that you're on the same plane. Otherwise, it's not going to create this face. So if I go down on the green axis and then I go on red and I go back to green again, and I'm looking to create an object, it wouldn't work. So this is an example. I'm going down on the blue axis. I'm gonna go down on red. And then from there, I connect everything. Whoops, not a good example. I messed up. So if I go to green and I go down to there, you'll notice it doesn't create a face. So just something to be aware about. You need to make sure that you create objects that are on the same plane. So from here, I can create irregular shaped objects that uses those two basic um, shapes, and if I wanted to, I can delete that inner line and I could use it all as one. Now let's say I want to make an object that has curved edges. Well, I can create a funnel by drawing several circles. So I want to make one that's 100-foot radius and delete the inside. Make one that's 50 foot, delete that inside, and make one that's 25, and delete that one. And from here, um, imagine these are contour lines. Imagine that these are elevations. And I think in the previous video, I forgot to mention, if you don't see this box here, which is your sandbox tools, you can go to View, Tool Palettes, and hit Sandbox, and you should be able to see it, because we're going to use this function here called From Contours. And what that will do is it will create a 3D terrain from your object. So I'm going to go ahead and bring down this circle 20 feet. And we'll bring this one down, let's just say 40. And from that, you'll see kind of a shape of a funnel or tornado. And I'm going to select all of those. Use the From Contour function, and you created a funnel. So let's say we're going to create another object that doesn't have smooth edges and a little bit more difficult to work with. So let's just say we're going to design a pond, and it's in the shape it's in this shape. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the face again. And what I usually do is I use a line or a tape measure line that goes along the x-axis, and that also goes along the y-axis. So from here I'm going to create a guide point. Let's just say I want to go down 20 feet. And from this endpoint here I want to go in 10 feet. So from this I want to triple click and get a copy of the object. And make sure whenever you first copy and you paste it, you move it outside of the area of those lines, because if you want to move it now, it's going to warp your picture. So I move it out, select the endpoint, and go to the guide point. And then from there, I can swivel and I can scale it down and use this guide point as a reference. And you can use multiple points if you want. This is just for simplicity's sake. And I can scale it down. And I can do it as many times as I want, but let's just use that as an example. And we create that type of object. So let's go to a real landscape. This is the Montessori school I'm working with, East Fort Worth Montessori Academy. Now I've already went ahead and added the contours to this map, and I'm going to go ahead and take away the terrain. So I need to go to a different layer, take away the terrain, and you'll notice I've already drawn in an object that is not there yet on the landscape. So if I were to put in a pond or a feature, this is just as an example. I'm not actually going to put a pond here, most likely. I think there's some zoning and coding laws and safety that I'd have to be in compliance with. That wouldn't be worth our trouble at this moment. But anyways, just for as an example, I've already moved the elevation lines accordingly. And if I go back to an overhead view, and if you select all those lines, and if you hit the From Contour button, it'll take a while, but you'll end up with this landscape. Now we're left without the actual image on here of the site that we're working with, or that I'm working with, but there's a way to add that to the area. So I'm going to go ahead and put back the snapshot, and we're going to get our paint bucket tool, and if you hold down Alt on a Windows, or if you hold down Command on a Mac and click on the image, you'll get a copy of the image. And then if you go to your terrain again and select the paint bucket, you can paint that image onto the area. Now for some reason, I'm not sure why, the image cuts off on particular areas. I've already added the image actually onto another map, so you notice our pond is kind of going into a sidewalk. That's no good. But I've already added it to this one over here, and you can kind of see that it's on site, and kind of where, you know, if we wanted to put a water feature, we could. Again, that's how to add your image overlay and to add 3D objects for ponds, swales. This could have been a raised bed if I wanted, or a hill, for whatever reason. So that's it. My name is Chow. I'm with Community Cultivators. I hope that helped. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to send them my way. In the meantime, have a great day, Happy New Year, and take care. Bye-bye.